Hello, Wellness Check Wednesdays community. We wanted to take a moment to remind you that while our podcast serves as a safe space for open discussions and sharing experiences, we are not mental health experts. This podcast is a platform for you to express your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a judgment-free zone. Our aim is to foster connection, provide support, and create a sense of community. It's crucial to acknowledge that we are not a substitute for professional mental health advice or treatment. If you or someone you know is dealing with mental health challenges, we strongly encourage seeking guidance from qualified professionals. Remember, reaching out to mental health experts can make a significant difference. If you ever feel the need, don't hesitate to connect with a licensed therapist, counselor, or healthcare professional.
This is the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast, a share space, a judgment-free zone, a place to meet and discuss our mental health. So let's check in.
Well. Oh, another wonderful Wednesday. Thank you all for joining us here with the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast, episode 38. And we encourage each and every one of y'all, every one of our listeners, all of our participants, those in between, all the things and whatnot. When it comes to our mental health, let's check in. As you should know by now, my name is Brian Livingston. I am the moderator of the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. I try to keep things on the track, but every time we may go sideways, and I try to bring it back, but then I'm sideways and goofy anyway. But it is what it is. But man, I'm always forever grateful and thankful for the originators of the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast for making this happen. And I just do my best to facilitate where this happens. We're going to stop off first by way of Cleveland, Ohio, one of the originators, my man, Edwin Vereen.
What's up, man? All of a sudden, it got real hot here, and I don't like it. It was like 96 degrees the other day, and I was like, what happened to this cool fall teaser? But that's what it was, a teaser. But come back, fall, I miss you. But other than that, I'm good. I can't complain.
Look, before we continue, because I think one of them little silly coffee places, we could have been Starbucks that came out. They already talking about pumpkin spice.
Why?
This is what happens when you try to bring up stuff prematurely. Pumpkin spice ain't got no business in August. Let's just put that right there. This is detrimental to my mental health. I will not have it. All right, cool. Also, our other originator by way of the Share Studios here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, my man Kevin Marshall.
Boy, heavy on the grind, heavy on that money bag. And B, I just have to say, I almost teared up with hearing that. And I was just like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I'm grateful for you, brother, for putting this together.
Hey, man, you and Edwin were the brain children behind this. And I'm just glad that we could come together each and every week. And we missed a week, but things happen. But missing 1 week out of 38. Man, we are on a very good track, and I'm glad that we come together and look out for each other. Also joining us on this episode as well, by way of Oklahoma, my man Brad. How are we doing today?
Good. Amidst the chaos, I am thriving and surviving.
And that is awesome to hear. We are especially thankful for the many times that you join us and bring your insights as well. And so this week's episode is basically going to be a just let's check in episode. We're gonna steer away from the topics that we usually pick. And this is really just a time to reflect, time for the good, the bad, the indifferent, the ugly. Just reflect on all the things that this mental health trek that we are on, this journey that we're on together, give an opportunity to reflect on that. And so Edwin, I know that you had a little piece that you wanted to get off of your chest and off of your mind.
Uh-oh.
So at this moment of time, the floor is yours.
First of all, I want to thank you for providing me a safe space to say what I want to in a respectful and tasteful manner. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into it. I usually don't bring up stuff like this on this platform in this setting, but this is our platform, this is our setting, and guess what? I'm gonna do it. All right. So with that being said, I had a little minor incident at work Sunday, right? Nothing bad. It's just kind of like, why you do that for? So, anyways, the section of the restaurant where I worked in, it requires you to, to roll silverware, and then there's like two people in that area, and then the patio people they roll silverware as well too. So what happened was my coworker decides after she does her silverware, she goes and finds the ship leaders and commences to tell them, hey, I just want you to know that these are my silverwares, these are my roll-ups right here. The guy on the patio and the other guy in the bar, aka me, they didn't do their silverware. So I'm just letting you know that I did mine. So guess what happened? The coworker came back and told me, say, hey Ed, just to let you know, man, old girl over there trying to throw you up under the bus. Which brings me to this. When people put salt on your name and literally try to bury you to make themselves look good, or as we wrestling fans say, when people try to give you the golden shovel and try to bury you and try to put you under so they can get over, I got a problem with that. I could have confronted this coworker, could have caused a scene, but what would have happened was she would have went crying and would have went to playing victim. But I'm not gonna do all that. So I'll just say this to the listeners out there: whatever happened to the age-old profession of drinking water and minding your damn business? Whatever happened to that? What's the purpose of burying one person just to make yourself look good? And if you ask me, pardon my French, that's a quality of a shitty person. That's what shitty people do. Shitty people do shit like that. So it's kind of like, what was the purpose of doing that? You could have been like, hey, you know what? I did my roll-up, stay right here, boom, going about your business. But to put people down just to make yourself look good? Really? Really? We late 30s, early 40s. Where did we get to this point in life? Where did we get to this point in life where did we get to this point in life as to where we do this? So she's leaving work. She's like, bye, Eddie, love you. So I just give her a hand. Let me say nothing to her. So she's like, are you mad? And I was like, why would I be mad? I have no need to be mad. Because you know what? I know that place is not my final destination, and I know people like her will not get far in life. They won't get far in life. Does that bring me satisfaction? Absolutely. Absolutely. So it just goes to shows that when your mind, more people should be more focused on staying the hell out of the way and drinking water. They should make that a career. The only downside about that career is the pay, it sucks, but the benefits are great. So yeah, to those of you that like to bury people just to make yourself look good, you're a shitty person and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's all I got.
On that note, and you know how I like to maybe sprinkle a little sugar on it and try to ease it into a more positive note. Sometimes brass tacks, it is what it is, and sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. I'm in my many years in the restaurant industry, I've encountered this so many times where you work around a bunch of individuals as opposed to people working together as a team. And I'm just gonna ask this real quick for my own sheer morbid curiosity. Was someone wrote, did they try to roll silverware before the shift and try to hide it and hold it? So when the end of the shift came up, they already had it done. Was it that situation, or was it after, like at the end of the shift or whatever? They just wanted to make sure that management saw that, oh, this is mine. but the other people around me didn't do anything.
She what it was, I watched her because I was busy. I couldn't roll silverware at the time, but I always try to make sure I at least make an effort to do it. She rolled her silverware throughout the shift, and she had it in plain sight as to where, hey, you know what? This is my silverware. She put her name on it, so that way there would have been no questions or anything, nothing like that. That way I could have been like, I'll take this and put my name on it, because sometimes that's what people do. But her silverware was already rolled and ready. And the thing about it was, she didn't tell the management, she told the shift leader. And like I'm saying, and the shift leaders, we're pretty close. We're pretty close. And so the shift leaders and one of the shift leaders was like, well, what was that all about? They checked it right on the spot and said, what was that all about? It's like, only thing, that doesn't, you don't have to bury other people to make yourself look good. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and the reason why I want to break it down a little bit, because I want to take it to, because this is something that a lot of people, if they've not worked in the restaurant industry, they won't understand. But
my God, they won't.
I'm gonna try to break it down for people that have not worked in the restaurant industry. You go into a restaurant, you usually greeted by a host at the door. They ask how many people it is, and then they grab the X amount of menus, X amount of sets of silverware that you use to eat from. Now, granted, throughout the shift, that silverware gets lower and lower, and it's part of everyone's job to make sure that there's silverware rolled for each guest that comes in. And usually at the end of each shift, servers are assigned a specific number of sets of silverware that needs to be rolled, that has the napkin, and however it's bundled at each respective restaurant. Now, normal case, after the shift is done, everybody rolls a set amount of silverware. Some people try to circumvent that or try to skirt around that by rolling silverware during the shift and hiding it. So at the end of the shift, I've already done my 45 sets of silverware. That does not do anybody any good, because guess what? That means silverware is missing throughout the shift. And depending on how busy you are, that silverware is needed. So hiding silverware throughout the shift, that's not the purpose of everybody having a set amount of silverware to roll. At the end of the shift, you take all of the silverware that's still around there. Usually through the shift, it's usually on the host, on the staff, the greeters, the hosts at the door. They're ones that are usually rolling the silverware. And at the end of the shift, servers, as part of their closing work, they roll a set amount. So that I'm going to put that out there. The person that Edwin is talking about cheated the system. And I'm a restaurant. I used to be a restaurant manager.
Well, actually, we're required, Be Live. I'm sorry, we're required but before we leave to make sure we roll a bin of silverware.
Right.
So technically, she didn't cheat the system, but guess what? You open up the drawer, and to my surprise, guess what fit in there? All her silverware.
See, it's one of those things. I don't know how many sets of silverware y'all have, and if y'all are that busy during the day or whatever during the Sunday shift, but I was like, no, you cannot do that, because if you're hiding silverware and then we end up running out, or we end up having a full house where we don't have any silverware. So that was one of those things. It was one of my pet peeves. I said, not hide silverware. If you have time to roll during the shift, please, I encourage that, because we're all working together to take care of the guests. You have silverware, you're trying to take care of yourself so you can leave quicker. That's what we can make this whole episode about that, because whoo, all right, that was my restaurant PTSD right there. I apologize to
I'm sorry, Be Live. I didn't mean to trip.
You good. No. That's it's needed. It's needed.
It's one of the things where I had to get off my chest, because it was the audacity for this person to defecate, on my name and the other person's name just to make themselves look good. I'm like, that's corny. That's not what's in the streets right now. No.
Here's the one thing I could tell you, just from what you were telling us and everything like that, your shift leader knows your work ethic.
Yeah, both of them do.
So what they try to do had no effect whatsoever because they know your work ethic, and that's the good work that you've already put in. So actually, I want you to take that as, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I'm gonna keep doing the right thing, despite of what people try to do to your name. Just
Yeah.
hey, stay encouraged, bro. And so,
I'm fine now because I got it off my chest, and I had to work with that same coworker yesterday, and she was doing this, and I was doing this. I said, I don't know. Maybe you should go ask the manager. He got the answer. I don't know.
And before I forget this, I just want
Mhm.
from your part and your French, those are shitty people. They forgot to take their Pepto-Bismol and milk growing up. That's why they become shitty people.
Exactly.
what? But here's the thing. Here's the one thing that happens a lot of times, and it does have a direct reflection on how people are raised. Like some people, only thing they know is to try to step over people.
Who you talking?
You messy. You
We not
messy
name.
right now.
We trying not to name names, bro. What are you doing?
Now I gotta go edit stuff because you've been doing the most. Now you making my job hard.
Listen. I am running on a lack of sleep. Listen, a whole lot of stress from working with monkeys, basically, who like to take their own, and throw it at people. But if nobody else made your life harder, who would I be if I didn't?
Here's one thing I would thought we would have an understanding over 38 episodes of this Wellness Check Wednesday thing. Why in the hell would you want to make my life any harder than what it already is? Between the 4 people that are here right now, I want to punch you in the throat.
What 4 people is here right now?
Violence.
Count them out. Count them out, Kev.
That man seen ghosts, y'all. Please pray for me. I'm gonna have to lock this door.
Well, okay, count how many people are present. Us recording right now, Kevin.
Hey, leave me alone.
I want you. No. Yeah,
I see 3.
You see 3, right?
Yeah, I see 3.
And there's another person that's not on camera, but you can hear me. Boy,
people just love getting B Live riled up. But
For real, man. Be like gonna cut a promo on you like nobody else, man.
I'm
Keep it up.
telling you.
But yeah, with the leg drop from the beach trip a few years ago.
Edwin was the one that said he was coming with the promo, but then this knuckleheaded. Oh yes.
I'm a be live. I got it for him. So like you said, be live, man. Sometimes when it comes to people doing those certain things, they probably don't understand boundaries. There's a lot of approval seeking that they're looking for, but sometimes the way they go about it is not always the best way.
Oh, yeah.
Which leads to instances like this. Like, if I told somebody I'd do something, there's no underhanded, jab at anybody, because what's the purpose of me dragging in somebody into my mess? You know what I'm saying? No, what's the purpose of that?
Point that like tied 2 together now to be on a serious note, but it's like B-Love just said, it comes from people being raised a certain way, and it seems like, in my opinion, outside looking in, is that this coworker of yours never got taught no. To understand what no was, to deal with the word no, the answer no, the repercussion of no.
Right.
Where it was like, oh, well, let me make myself look good, and who cares who I hurt, making myself look good, which isn't the way you should go, because making yourself look good, but either working in a team or working in pairs or working however it is, like, you make yourself look good by helping the team look good. Like, and I know enough about the restaurant industry that y'all are divvied into certain sections to where, okay, you handle this side of this section, I handle this side, or you have your own single individual section. But still, at the end of the night, you're working as a team, and how you make, and I've always learned this. It's been a harder lesson to learn that, like, I can make myself look good by helping the team look good. Like there, and like you said, Ed, there's no point in why drag somebody through the mud? Why put mud on somebody's name? Why put dirt on somebody's name? Because at the end of the result, I don't care what you believe in, who you believe in, or what you ponder on, but karma is real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to tie in a couple things. It's basically a couple things that I'm going through, and then tie into and what you talk about, and like sort of an impromptu topic.
Mhm.
One thing I've learned more than anything else in this thing called life is that when we work together towards a common goal, we can get a lot more done than I can.
Mm-hmm.
We has always been better than I in every single situation. Edwin, I always like to bring up, because this was a little bit, just a tank bit after your time, before your time at Joe's Crab Shack in North
Mhm.
Myrtle. When I tell you, I had the best teammates, co-workers that a guy could ever have.
Mhm.
It was unreal, to the point that when I got married, my entire groom side was all Joe's Crab Shack teammates.
I remember that because I was there.
That's how tight knit we worked together. And the thing about it is that all we did was we worked together. We were competitive. We taught cash shit. I'm gonna be candid this episode. We taught
Mm.
cash shit to each other
Yeah.
every single day. Oh, what you doing? Selling kids meals? We
His meals. I remember that Mo.
always
They
be
do the
we'd all be competing as to who could sell the most. But at the end of the day, I'd grab this for this person, I grab that for that person. He would grab something for me. We'd all be working together in sync. And at the end of the day, all of us ate. We made way more money together. And the thing about it was that there was other people in the restaurant that want to do their own individual thing. And we try to help them and do that and everything like that. But they had their 3-table section, and that's all they did. They didn't try to help anybody else. We were such a tight-knit unit, and we watched as these people would make a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there.
Mhm.
We made collectively more money for each other just because we all helped each other. And then we would all come together, be like, yo, let's go enjoy the fruits of our labor. And man,
But
I say that to bring it towards what's happened since then. Because now where I work at is more of an individual thing anyway, but I try to work with clients and we work together towards a common goal. But you can see it more and more today that people do not work together like they should, and the teamwork isn't there, and we don't come together like we should. And it makes our individual lives harder. That's why
And it's sad.
that's
It's
what I'm saying.
sad.
yeah,
I lean so
So
much
sad.
I lean so much on this podcast each week because I feel like just us coming together, the four of us and the others that we've had on there. By the way, just going to throw out there, my man Chris Villalobos,
congrats.
congratulations. My man just got married last week, was it, Kevin?
Yep.
He
Let's
just got
go.
married
Congrats.
last week. So Chris, so happy. I'm so happy for you and your new family. Chris's dad was just on
A few weeks ago.
couple weeks ago as well.
Mhm.
And just in the togetherness that has come together, like that little bit right there makes this thing called life a little bit easier, because I know I have people that I can count on.
Boy, but I tell you one thing I'm nervous about. I got asked to be a groomsman in his wedding.
Oh, hell.
And then yeah. You already know what that's gonna entail. Chris, I love you. If you hear this, I love you, bro. I love you. I love you. I love you. But I got to be goofy just a little bit. And you know I'm gonna do it.
Now, the thing about this, Chris, I want to say this out here real quick, because I don't think I've ever seen you in a piece of formal wear ever.
You'd be surprised at how well this Sasquatch and Yeti can clean up. You'd be very surprised.
Can't do it. I'm just saying. I mean, first of all, I mean, when you get your tux fitted, I mean, you got to have extra room for your neck and your head. I mean, that's another battle within itself. The tailor got to do some extra work for that neck and that head. But
Oh boy, here we go.
Uh,
I saw that coming. Hey, we got Brad in here, man. Brad, check in with us, man. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good, guys. I'm
God, boy.
Oh my God. I'm good, guys. Just been on it's too much travel. Like I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I love to travel. I love to do this. I love to do that." Okay, travel's great, but when you're traveling for like 3-4 weeks straight,
Oof.
airports get old. And these flight delay problems, as you guys have probably either experienced or heard on the news or
Oh my
heard from
God.
other people, bruh. There was a flight delay I had, and then I remember telling you about this, Eddie, that it was 6 flight delays,
Yeah, it was.
6 of them. It was nuts. But it's been good though. It's been good to see people I haven't seen in a while. I mean, like that aspect, that aspect kind of trumps over, all the like terrible parts of traveling. But it's just been good. Just a lot of traveling, a lot of wrestling, some shoots here and there. Just a lot of Texas travel, and I kind of miss it out there, but I don't miss it out there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, work's a little chaotic right now. Just trying to get some things in order, But me and my team, and everybody's getting it together, making sure we're all solid and learning to work with each other and learning this other team's work methods, which we just got to figure it out. You just got to figure out what their deal is and get them on the right path so we can all, enjoy our weekends like we need to. Other than that, man, ain't nothing else really going on over here. Same old, same old.
Yep. And Kev, you talking about you had a lot going on. What's going on with you, man? Check in, check in.
Well, ooh, boy, where to start? Between the idiots at work,
Oh
between
boy.
working multiple jobs, between trying to keep my mom sane from dealing with my pop's dementia. Ooh. He just asked me 3 times before I left the house. And I told him I'm leaving Friday about 1:30 to 2 to go up to Jersey with my girlfriend. What time you leaving? 10 minutes later. When you leaving? 10 minutes later. What day you leaving? Oh, God damn it. All right, I'm out. I love you, Pops, but I'm out. I got to get out before I lose my. But no, besides that, just always trying to grow, trying to learn, and just, trying to keep the gray hairs out of my beard for right now. I'm like, good God, I'm about to start looking like B-Live over there.
See
Just
that?
shave my
There you
noggin.
go. There you go.
See, there it is. There you go.
I know it's coming.
You
Okay,
open this can of worms.
And don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You see, you could have left stuff all alone, but no, you want to come at me. You already know I'm firing with both barrels. Don't play with me today.
And I'm also running on a lack of sleep. That's why I'm a little bit giddy and just shooting off the hip. But besides all of that, like I said, blessed to be 6 feet above ground, and to have the people that I have in my life, and to have this group of this fellowship and this uplifting of brothers. Like B-Live said, it's one thing to always trying to do something individual, but history, if history hasn't taught anything, let it teach this: that some of the greatest conquests and some of the greatest conquerors in history had a team behind them, whether it was a strategic war master, whether it was a political advisor, whether it was whoever it was. Like, there's always a team. Like, it is okay to have a little bit of individuality,
Individuality, I got you.
but at the same time, why not work as a team? Why not uplift one another?
Absolutely, man. And and all joking aside and everything like that, I am particularly thankful for each one of y'all checking in, going and the battles that we all go through. Kevin, I know me and you've had conversations about your parents and the particular challenges that they go through and everything like
Oof.
that. Just and I want to encourage you more than anything, because what you were dealing with, a lot of people couldn't.
Yeah.
A lot of people steer away from stuff like that, and you've taken it head on. Even though there's times where you just say, you know what, I need a moment. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because I know how much you love your dad. I know how much you love your mom, and what y'all do for each other. And I'm thankful to see the love and the bond that you all have. And even the times where I come through, both your parents have been especially kind to me and everything like that. Your pops is my pops as well, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I am thankful very much so for that. Brad, when it comes to funny quick story, 2 years ago, I was invited to New York City, where I was part of a wedding myself. I was one of the groomsmen, and so the entire wedding party went up to New York City. The bride was getting her dress fitted, and before we got to New York City, American Airlines canceled the flight to New York City. So we had to get a, like, what's the thing called? Had to rent a van, or it was actually a large SUV for like 7 of us that were going all together from Fayetteville going to New York City. And so we lost half a day, half an evening in New York City. And then we did a couple things here and there. And then come Sunday to leave back, American Airlines canceled the flight leaving New York City. Oh my God. So when I tell you, I know the pain of delayed and canceled flights, man, oh man. And on top of that, I know for a fact, and I think everybody can attest to this, there's nothing more comfortable in this world than your own bed. So
Oh boy, you ain't lying.
you can do all the traveling in the world and it's beautiful, but after a certain amount of time, you just want your bed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I know exactly the feeling with that, man. I'm just going to throw in a little quick piece of mine that I'm going through right now. It's just more monetary. I need money. That's all it is. Boy, money, as much as it heals a lot of wounds, but I have faith that what I do and what I continue to do will reap results. And I am going to continue to press. I'm going to continue to grind. And I just know that it's all going to work out. With that being said, I'm thankful, Brad, Edwin, Kevin, and all those that are listening out there. This was the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. We are especially thankful for each and every one of our listeners. It continues to uplift us, encourage us in this journey of mental health, men and women involved with that. Continue. Mental health awareness is important more than ever. I think I just stole Eddie's line, part of his line.
Men, women, and kids, all of it's important.
Man,
Yeah.
But I'm again thankful. We encourage at any given point in time, not just on Wednesdays, reach out to us via Facebook Messenger. You can reach out to us. You reach out to us individually, collectively. If you ever need someone to speak to, always encourage seek professional help. We are not professionals. We have one common goal here, the Wellness Check Wednesday, mental health. And so we always encourage each and every one of y'all to
Let's
check.
Yeah.
catch y'all next week.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Please join us every week, Wednesdays on Zoom at 6 p.m., and join our Facebook group for updates and to participate. We care about your mental health, so let's check in.